Hello friends, this video on matter and magnetism part 16 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 15 before going ahead with part 16. I hope the concept of magnetic field or the magnetic force experienced by a charged particle in a magnetic field is clear to you. So now we will study about a new topic, that is the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. Till now we studied what is the force experienced by a charged particle when it comes to a magnetic field that which is produced by some other particle. The magnetic field was an external magnetic field. But now we will see what is the magnetic field that is produced by a current carrying conductor. So now we will concentrate on the current carrying conductor which produces the magnetic field, right? So we will see how do we calculate that how much magnetic field will be produced due to this current carrying conductor. So for this came up the Biot-Savart law. This was another law which came up to describe the magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire. Till now we were concentrating on the magnetic force which a current carrying wire will experience when it is placed in an external magnetic field. Now we will see what is the magnetic field that is produced by a current carrying wire. So for that came up the Biot-Savart law, which tells us that the magnitude of magnetic field is proportional to the current I, the length element dl, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance r. Now what is this? This says that let us suppose if I have some conductor carrying current. This is a current carrying conductor. So if I consider a small element, let us say dl of this conductor, and I have to find out the magnetic field produced by this conductor at some point, say P. And this point P is located at some distance r from this small element dl. So in this case, the small magnetic field which is produced at point P due to the small element dl will be what? This small magnetic field is proportional to the current I which is flowing through the conductor. It is also directly proportional to the length element, that is this small part of the conductor, and this is inversely proportional to the square of the distance of this point from the conductor. That means far more the closer the point is, more is the magnetic field. That is very obvious also, because for any current carrying conductor wire, the region surrounding it will have magnetic field. So if you go far away from the wire, your magnetic field will gradually reduce to zero. That means as the distance of the point increases, the magnetic field decreases, right? So taking into consideration these things, we found out an expression for magnetic field. And the law also told that its direction is perpendicular to the plane containing dl and r. That means it is perpendicular to a plane which contains dl and r. So that means it has to be cross product of dl and r. Only in that case the direction will be perpendicular to the plane containing dl and r. That is in accordance with the definition of cross product, right? Now considering these 2 points, both the magnitude as well as direction, we can see that dB is directly proportional to I dl, is directly proportional to I dl divided by r square. This is in accordance with the magnitude. Now when we take into consideration the direction also, then we can say that it is directly proportional to dl cross r. And since we are multiplying r, so we can multiply r in the denominator also. So it is equal to this. Therefore, we can say that now in order to remove this proportionality, we need to introduce a constant. So a constant was introduced in this form, mu naught by 2 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. Now what is this mu naught by 4 pi? Mu naught by 4 pi was a proportionality constant, where mu naught is nothing but the permeability of vacuum. This is mu naught. Mu naught was the permeability of vacuum. Now you must be thinking, what is permeability now? Like how in case of electrostatics you had epsilon, right? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, right? So what was that epsilon naught? That was permittivity of free space. Similarly here, mu naught is permeability of free space. Now we will talk about permeability. We will talk about magnetic permeability in our next lesson. Well, I will deal with this in detail. So as of now, you can just know that. So from here, what do we get? The magnitude of magnetic field will be equal to I dl. So dl cross r becomes I dl r sine theta. So we can make it as I dl sine theta divided by r square, because this will be I dl r sine theta divided by r cube. So that r and 1r will get cancelled. So it will be this much. So therefore this is your magnitude. Now here mu naught is permeability of vacuum, and mu naught is equal to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. This is the value of mu naught, Tesla meter per ampere. So this is the value of mu naught. So you can just replace mu naught by 4 pi by 10 to the power minus 7. So this is the law. Now we do not have any proof of this law as such, but this is the law which tells us the magnitude as well as direction of the magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire. Now how will you find the direction of the magnetic field in this case? You will apply the same right hand rule. In right hand rule, now it is dl cross r. So all your 4 fingers should curve from dl towards r. And during that time, the direction of your thumb will tell you the direction of magnetic field. Right? So I hope it is clear. Biot-Savart law. So now I will show you how is electrostatics analogous to magnetism. Now you will see this Biot-Savart law has so much of similarity with the Coulomb's law of electrostatics. So let us have a comparison of the both. Here comes your Biot-Savart law and Coulomb's law. So when I talk about Biot-Savart law, in Biot-Savart law, the force which we are talking about is a long range force. What do you mean by long range force? Long range force is the one where as the distance increases, the force decreases. That means the force experienced at large distances will gradually decrease and the experience will increase as we come closer, right? So in both the cases, they are long range force. Let me write down both the laws. That will make things simpler. So if we write down Biot-Savart law, it is somewhat like this. dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta divided by r square, and in this case Coulomb's law, it is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. So in both the cases, whenever we talk, it is a long range force. That means as it is inversely proportional to distance. As the distance increases, the force decreases. Here also, as the distance increases, the force experienced between the two charges decreases. In Biot-Savart law also, as the distance increases, the magnetic field experienced is decreases. Both of them follow principle of superposition. That's also correct, because if you have, as I mentioned earlier also, it is a vector field, right? So if you have a system where individual charges produce some magnetic field B1, B2, B3 and so on, then the net magnetic field of the system will be the vector sum of the individual magnetic fields. Similarly, in this case also, in Coulomb's law also, they follow principle of superposition. In case of Biot-Savart law, it is produced by a vector source, but in Coulomb law, it is produced by a scalar source. What is the vector source you think here, and what is the scalar source here? When we talk of Coulomb's law, what is the source? The source is nothing but a charge. So Q is the source, the charge is the source. If there is no charge, there will be no force of attraction or repulsion, right? So the origin of Coulomb's law is the charge. But in this case, there is no concept of charge as such, right? Because in this case, it is about moving charges. It is not about a single charge. If a charge is placed on the table, you will not get a magnetic field because of that charge. It is because of moving charges. So in this case, the source is this IDL, that is the current element. It is basically the current carrying element. So a small element which is carrying some current, that is the source. That is the source of a magnetic field. Perpendicular to displacement vector. Now in this case, what is the direction? When we talk about the direction of magnetic field, if we talk about direction, it has to be mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. In this case, if we talk about direction, in that case it would become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 r cap divided by r cube, right? So that means in this case, the force is along the direction of r. But in this case, the direction of the magnetic field is determined by cross product of dl and r. That means it is perpendicular to the plane containing dl and r, perpendicular to the plane containing this current carrying element and the position vector, right? So this was the comparison of Biot-Savart law with Coulomb's law. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.